right, guys, the common tendency that we're going to be talking about today is inconsistency on that inside foot with a dink. That probably sounds a little crazy, but know that whether it's a righty or a lefty, and you find that somebody maybe has reset towards your inside foot, or they've just simply hit a dink to your inside foot, and you're a little uncomfortable, I would say, even at the highest level, there's a lot of pop-ups, on that left foot, or, if I'm a righty and I'm on the right side and it comes to that left foot, most people just tend to get like a little panicky. And then with panicking, comes maybe taking a step back too much on that dink, or maybe over-leaning on that dink. Maybe looking to speed up too much on that dink. I mean, that's kind of like falls in that category of like natural tendencies, trying to speed up a little bit too much. So I think, think about in this area, if you're inconsistent there, or if you're trying to overcreate, think about simplifying the general pattern and just going back to the middle. I think some of the things that I see here is that people try to overcreate, or they try to overspin, or just simply they just tend to do way too much. So think about just resetting back to the middle, and probably in a lifting type manner.
Yeah, I would say this is probably, I think the reason that people struggle with this so much is when you think about the way that people warm up or practice, you normally dink up the line, or you go cross court. And when you're going cross court, if you're on the right side and you're right-handed, you're almost always going to be doing forehand to forehand, forehand to forehand. Or if you go left side, it's backhand to backhand. But rarely do we think about being on the right side, going forehand to forehand, and then playing a backhand on our left foot, still that inside out location. So it's often a shot that we're surprised by. We're not in that scenario that often. So just like Tyson said, it's, if we aren't as comfortable with that ball, it's not the time to change directions or get overly fancy. It's just to go back to a bigger target, simplify that shot, keep your errors down, and just don't get too crazy with it.
Make sure that your patterns are not complex when somebody dinks to your left foot. Okay, first drill here with inconsistency on that inside foot. Both Kyle and I are going to be on the right. Keep in mind, both Kyle and I are righties here. So if we have a lefty to lefty combo, obviously both lefties would be on the left side. But we're going to be in a very stationary position. We're going to go back to the basics here and really give ourselves a lot of time in this scenario, and more so just dink left foot to left foot. Keeping in mind how much time we have, keeping in mind if we should be taking it out of the air, versus taking a step back or taking it as a half volley. Just obviously know that anytime you're taking a ball in red, it should always be a lift. Anytime you, probably shouldn't say anytime, but if you have more time and you're dealing with a ball in yellow, you can start to create a bit more. But obviously keeping the theme of left foot to left foot, we're not really creating. We're just more so probably hitting more of a push dink, not as lifty.
So yeah, this is, for me personally in my game, Tyson and I play a lot, he'd be the first to agree with me. My left foot in this pattern is definitely an area that I'm vulnerable. I like to play my backhand dink with a lot of slice, a lot of backspin. I'm very comfortable doing that cross court from the left side. But when I'm on that right side over here and I'm playing the shot on my left foot, it really forces me to dial back my shot selection, hold my ground, take the ball out of the air a lot of times. But even when I do take that step back, I've got to cut out how much of that push dink that I'm playing. Most of the time, I'm resorting to playing the ball with a little bit more height, buying myself time, and it's a little bit awkward trying to get the same action on that ball going inside out cross court. So that's a little bit more higher level. Most of the time, I've been more effective just playing that lift dink style back to the middle.
I like it. Okay, rock and roll here. Okay. So left foot to left foot, go ahead.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so nice and easy. I'm trying to find Kyle's backhand, he's trying to find mine. I'm judging the height of the ball, if I can take it out of the air, take it off the bounce. Keeping the theme of necessary lean and unnecessary. Okay, nice. Maybe as we get more comfortable here, we start going a bit more linear. Try to hit more push dinks that are a little deeper. Okay, good. But we're just redirecting that ball. Redirecting it back to the left foot, again. Good. Probably overextension there, it's okay. Yeah, very good. That last dink there obviously took the route of probably being a little lazy, didn't take a step back. Kyle found my foot, but Good example there that Kyle hit a ball probably in this push, alleyway, right?
Yeah.
Or in this pressurized alley, which is like a foot from the kitchen there. Kyle hit a ball towards my foot. I can take this out of the air in red. Obviously, it takes a higher skill set doing that. Yeah. Or I would say, generally from a lower skill standpoint, you should be taking a step back, buying yourself a little time, and then looking to reposition after you take a step back. Know that when you take a step back, use that dominant foot as an anchor. Yeah. Right, just to buy yourself some time and not over complex things.
And I think the big thing with when to take that step back too is make sure you're assessing where the ball's coming rather than have that instinct of every time to retreat. Right. You want to make sure that the ball is going to be in an uncomfortable location where it makes sense to buy yourself some time to increase the likelihood of making the shot, making it a little easier. But if every time you're doing this, right, you're going to miss out on some balls that you could lean in and make a smaller target for your opponent.
Yeah. So we essentially want you to have three options, right? Half volley, be able to take balls out of the air, not only so you can speed up, but also to reset back. Yep. And then the ability to take a step back and lift, and the ability to take a step back and then use a push dink by giving yourself time.
Absolutely.
Right? Let's go a couple more here.
Okay.
Okay, no worries. Here we go. But yeah, anytime that I feel like the ball is in red, I'm always lifting up, giving myself some height, taking a step back there. Taking a step back here. Okay, lift. Same thing, lift. Taking a step back. Okay, but you notice how we're not trying to create a lot in here. I mean, things are very, very simple. I would say we're always leading with the knuckles. It's kind of like this knuckles to knuckles type scenario where we're going left foot to left foot. And then anytime we can take a step back, that's when we're cocking the wrist up a bit more, looking to drive a bit more and probably be a bit more offensive with that dink.
Well, and I think when we take a step back, you can play two options, right?
Yeah.
So like on a couple of mine, even though it may look the same coming off the paddle, I'm intentionally trying to add more lift. Even though there is that backspin, I'm trying to get that with a little bit softer and higher net clearance. And then occasionally, if I feel like that apex really going to sit out in front of me, right, and I feel pretty confident, that's where I can execute that push dink a little bit more linear at Tyson's feet.
Okay, guys, second drill here. So now we're going to add a bit more movement in here. We're going to work on not only redirecting that dink back to your opponent's left foot, but also too, now you have the option to redirect it out to the right foot as well. So now we're just going to take it a bit further, add on one more feature. Know that when you are redirecting it back to your opponent's forehand, or if you're going to redirect it back cross court and not back to the inside foot, give yourself some height to work with. There's no need to hit this, linear, perfect push dink out to the right foot. Obviously, and with the idea that we've been talking about, most people just tend to overcreate, in this scenario. So we're gonna hit 4 dinks in a row. It's gonna be ping pong, rally, it's on. We're gonna say that phrase, and then after that we can move the ball around. But we're not really playing the point out. There's gonna be no speed ups. We're just gonna have some fun with it, but we're just adding in the feature that you can redirect that ball on your inside foot and put it back cross court.
So Tyson, if you pop one up that I theoretically could attack out of the air, are you wanting me to just practice like a volley dink, or are you wanting me to punish you for those?
Yeah, so let's say that, let's say that if I do pop it up, you can punish me.
But only out of the air.
Yeah, but okay, let's say only if it's in green.
Okay.
Only if it's like
anything
a given
in yellow,
anything in yellow, you have to
placing.
redirect, correct.
Yeah,
so
like
obviously being very safe from yellow and below.
I like that.
Anything above in green, you have license to put a tattoo on their chest.
Okay,
ready here? So 4 balls,
ping,
starting now, ping,
pong,
rally is on. Okay, now we're live. Now we can move each other around a little bit. I'm gonna redirect it back there. Okay. Kyle's trying to find a forehand, I see.
Keep it in the drill, Kyle.
Good.
Work on the shot.
Okay, good. Okay, good. That's okay. I like it. Yep.
Get over.
Okay, this may take a little bit. See how when I'm taking this ball and redirecting it there, as I'm taking this ball and redirecting it here, I'm not trying to roll it. Right. I'm not trying to create and add any more. I'm simply leading with the face of the paddle, and the paddle face never lies. I'm leading with my knuckles. I'm keeping this nice and straight, and I'm just lifting this over in a very controlled manner. Okay.
Yeah, I would say, guys, I know this area pretty well because it's a flaw in my game that's bugged me for a long time. If you watch the difference between Tyson and myself, I tend to keep my paddle face a little bit higher. So it's harder for me to get that up and down trajectory because I'm more comfortable up and cocked. Tyson does a better job of dropping the paddle face, and that's going to allow him to get that dip down consistently, where my ball with the paddle face up is going to tend to be a little bit more linear. So just know, if you're struggling in getting that shape, try to bring the paddle face down and lift from the shoulder.
Right. Very, very difficult to redirect that in red with your wrist being up and cocked.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would say most of the dinks that are hit with the wrist being up and cocked are generally in yellow, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, ready here? Again, ping, pong, rally is on. Now we're live, baby. Like it. Okay, work that left foot.
Get over.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm trying to find Kyle's there. That's it right there. Very good. He's finding it. Good. But any time that I'm changing direction, I'm never trying to create. I think that's that's the message that we're trying to portray here, is that yes, I am changing direction, but the hand positioning is super, super still. Usually when you're uncomfortable or when you try to create, the hand positioning tends to adjust.
Yeah.
Okay, hand positioning is still, and we're gonna focus on no adjustments.
I think the more you're trying to put backspin or top spin or just do a little extra, a lot more is going on. It's so much easier to make the error. But if you can keep the technique simplified, lift from the shoulder, you're generally gonna be in a good spot.
Okay, so third progression here, kind of fun. So Coach Kyle is gonna act as the attacker. I'm gonna act as a counter attacker. And we're gonna go right back to the first drill to a certain degree. Left foot to left foot, I can only counter, he can attack. Now Kyle's looking to create and looking to initiate, whether it's out of the air or it's taking a step back. The main focus is that he's looking to disguise, and he's probably gonna disguise with adding a couple dinks that look very similar to his speed up.
Yep.
Okay, left foot to left foot. Bring it, buddy. You better speed up off the bounce.
I was trying to lull you to sleep a little bit. I realized I got to throw in a certain amount of step backs. And just know, as we're doing these speed ups, know that step back, not that it's a requirement, but you're going to see a lot more balls with the apex sit up in front of you, and it's going to be a correct type of ball to attack if you can step back occasionally. So I'm going to try to lull Tyson to sleep, take a couple steps back and dink, and then go ahead and choose that ball to speed up.
So Coach Kyle, so when you see the big old stamp on somebody's forehead that says I'm coming in hot, where does it usually come from? We were talking about this earlier.
Right.
We talked about, like, you know, there's some people who just take half volleys and all of a sudden they'll take a step back and speed up.
Absolutely.
But they won't really build it. So talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have to be able to calibrate. You can't have a tell out there. And what Tyson's referring to is if I'm the type, every time I dink, I'm keeping my feet still and I'm hugging the line. And every time I take that step back, I speed up. Then he knows way in advance, the moment I bring that leg back, speed up's coming, right? So in order to calibrate, I've got to do a certain amount of dinks where maybe even I don't have to take a step back, but I'm choosing to, just to show him that, look, dink, step back, dink, step back, and now it looks the same and I can go ahead and speed it up.
For sure, for sure. So I guess just be a bit more calculated, think through that process a bit more, and just don't be as, I guess, premature with just having one option. You know, be able to create in that same sequence with your footwork. Be able to create with that same sequence in your footwork.
Understand the step back can help you make defensive shots a little more comfortable, but it can also give you the option, not the requirement, the option for offense.
I like it. Taking a step back can create offense. Here we go, rock and roll. Left foot, left foot. Okay, and I'm just kind of waiting. Nice, I like it, very good. Okay, again. Nice little speed up. Good. Ready here. Oh, that's very generous of you.
Work a little lean and then I overlean.
Very generous of you.
And then I overlean. Oh, wrong choice twice.
So just, hey, if you don't mind, tell the viewers how you feel about speeding up from here.
Yeah, no, obviously this is not my most comfortable area. I mean, if this feels new to you, know that I'm right there with you, where I understand what to do mentally, but I do not have the muscle memory for really lifting on this backhand side. So it's an area I'm going to have to work on for sure. So I don't do it as often when we play. So again, I'm just trying to, this is how you take a weakness and turn it into a weapon. You understand it mentally first, what you're supposed to do, and then you just put in the reps and try to get a little bit better at it.
And so the old implementation dip, right?
For sure.
It's going to take some time, but know that like this third progression may not work for you, right? You may just get comfortable with the second progression, and that's more so just redirecting and never speeding up. That's totally fine. We're just saying, hey, here's one more tool to work with, especially with it being a backhand and with a lot of us having much more coverage and much more area to work with as far as counterattacking and just, I guess, looking to punch with that backhand, it makes sense to be speeding up, and I would speed up right back to where it came from, and then after you speed up, where is that counter going to come back to? Usually it comes right back to where the speed up came. So plain and simple, if you're going to start middle, stay middle, and it makes a lot of sense. Why? Because I'm already sitting and camping on a backhand. Okay, a little 1-2 combo. Let's see that 1-2 combo.
Let's see it. You're doing it, right?
You know what? Let's have you do a couple more.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah. Sorry. Again. Sorry, here you go.
No worries.
Again.
Chop.
Oh. Nice.
Start again here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nice. Okay, I'm gonna go now.
Okay.
Sorry. Say hey.
Deal with that. There we
Get
go.
ready
All
here.
right,
So now I'm gonna be speeding up. Same thing. And I actually kind of naturally like to dance a little bit from here, just to kind of stir up the pot a little bit. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, again. Kyle was able to get it down. Okay.
Might have attacked from a little low there.
And I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a good one.
Sorry. There it is.
Yeah, good example, right? I sped up. I just sat and camped, came right back to where it came from.
Well, I think the thing is the speed up doesn't have to be as good because your next ball, you're so much more effective. I actually felt like I handled that pretty well, but because I put it right back to your paddle, I still lost the point there.
Higher level nugget is sometimes you may, if you're positioned correctly, if you're in the correct position, and maybe you're either sitting on a forehand, whether you speed up and sit on a forehand or you speed up and just sit on a backhand, sometimes speeding up that may be not as calculated, as long as you're sitting and camping on the next one, that next one or that re-counter is better than the speed up. So I guess don't be afraid to hit a mediocre speed up at certain times, knowing that you can clean it up with a better re-counter.
Okay. If it's disguised well.
Correct.
You have to disguise it decent. You don't want to have a big take back.
No.
They may see it coming, but if you disguise it well, the attack itself doesn't have to be that great.
And what are those boxes they should be ticking?
Sly, stability, location, and in yellow or better.
Sweet. Okay. You can only speed up if you can tick those boxes. Here we go. I'm speeding up here. I think he was more than ready.
Well, feel free to go to my other shoulder here if I'm camping.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm waiting.
I like it.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, last one here. Sorry, my fault.
Just something to work with here.
Look at that. Okay, so why I wanted to show that.
Frozen.
Why I wanted to show that is because it's over his what shoulder? It's over his left shoulder.
Right.
In the 3 years that I've played pickleball, I've yet to see anybody put a backhand overhead away when they're hitting it in, correct. So plain and simple, I'm using that as a setup just to get him out of position now. Okay.
Yeah, great thing to use. And he obviously saw I'm leaning in. I handled the last speed up pretty well. Usually it's pretty tough to cover both, right? So if I'm on the speed up, leaning in, chest out, falling forward, might be vulnerable for a lob.
Okay. And know that we could do this same drill if we were lefties from this side of the court with the exact same situation in all those progressions.
Okay guys, so drill recap. We started with the first progression of Tyson and I were both right-handed. So we lined up cross court on the right side, each of us, trying to work that inside foot or that backhand shot here. So focusing on aiming more towards the middle location, lifting, dropping the paddle face, dinking from the shoulder, not trying to do too much or try to redirect the ball, just getting comfortable in this scenario because it's often not practiced. Like I talked about earlier, we normally either dink up the line from each other or we dink cross court, but we neglect that inside foot when we're going cross court. So just kind of getting the rhythm and understanding that going back to the middle is okay for that first progression. Second progression, we started in the same scenario, hit 4 balls. We did ping, pong, rally, it's on, and at that point you have the option of practicing redirecting the ball cross court from this location. So remembering to point the paddle face with the knuckles on that backhand side. Knuckles don't lie, so if we want to redirect the ball, think about aiming with our knuckles. And at that point we just kind of played the point out. Really not much speed ups unless it's an obvious big error up in green, but just trying to get used to that rhythm and flow of alternating feet with our opponent. And then the last progression, we went back, similar setup to the first progression, where we stayed relatively stationary, going left foot to left foot, or excuse me, inside foot to inside foot, and with the option of looking to speed one up, understanding that from this situation, if it's a backhand speed up in this location, the speed up, if disguised well, doesn't have to be as strong because you're naturally in a position to counter that next ball.
Okay guys, the game here, we're gonna hit 4 balls in a row on our inside foot to inside foot, ping pong, rally, it's on, and then the point is live. Rally scoring. I think something that we should add in is that if we let a speed up go long, or if we're in a hand speed battle and we were to let one go long, it would be a bonus point, so we'd get 1 more. I like it. Okay, so obviously if I let one go, it goes long, I get a bonus point, and then I get a point for winning the point. Okay, game to 7, rally scoring. Let's also keep the theme of let's go 2 or 3 here, and then we'll switch sides.
Okay.
Okay, I like it. Go ahead.
All right, so
Ping, pong, rally is on, and we're live. I'm gonna work that left foot, buddy.
Oh, good speed up, good spot.
Okay.
Okay.
Thought I'd test it, test that high shoulder.
Okay, so 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. Little example there. I thought Kyle probably was going to be sitting on the backhand.
Yeah, it was.
And I purposely kind of like aimed high and it was going out.
I was just going to say, is that maybe sailing?
Well, it was kind of like a bait attack, yeah. But it's that idea of, we talked about this earlier, like don't take the first option. Why? Because sometimes the first option, your opponent's already sitting on it, right? So, calculated speed up, playing somebody who likes to counter well, wait a little longer, and find a different spot. But there's nothing wrong with, if you're playing somebody who you're losing hand speed battles against, being a bit more selective with that target. Now, if I'm comfortable going head to head, I may just pick my first option, right?
Right.
Okay, here we go. 1-0.
Okay.
Ping. Pong. Rally.
It's on.
It's on.
Oh, good spot.
I thought I'd sneak that in there.
Just working this shoulder.
Working that right shoulder, man.
0-2.
Working it.
Ping. Pong.
Rally.
It's on. What am I doing? And then I guessed the wrong shoulder. Oh, no. Good spot. Good spot. All right.
That's a good point.
0-3.
Okay, here you go.
Okay. Ping. Pong. Rally. It's on.
That's a good point. Okay, 4-0.
4-0.
This one counts as 4 points. It's a 4-pointer.
It's a big one.
4-pointer.
Ping.
Ping pong. Rally is on. Points live. Oh, yes. You're so generous. I'm taking it.
I feel like bonus point there, right?
Bonus.
Bonus point if you can do an ATP. Okay.
Hey Picklers, if you enjoyed this instructional video, do me a favor, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on.
Okay guys, so recapping the game that we just did there, we focused on wanting to get practice on that right side, 2 righties lining up cross court the right side, working that backhand or that inside foot, more lift dink style. So we set it up where we needed to play at least 4 before the point is live. So just did ping, pong, rally, it's on, and then playing out the point from there. Bonus point for in a fast hand exchange, or if somebody's trying to speed it up, of dodging and getting out of the way, you get a bonus point, as well as if you're brought out a little bit too wide, remembering you can go around the post, bonus point if you execute the ATP there.
Like it. So some of the progressions that we went through, and some of the progressions that you should be thinking about when you're dealing with a spot that's uncomfortable, is first finding consistency. Second, finding options to be consistent, and then thirdly, finding ways to create offense from that particular side. Right. So in the drills, we did left foot to left foot, very stationary. Second drill, we added a bit more movement in, and third drill, we were forcing you to speed up a little bit. So just know that obviously if you never get to a position where you feel comfortable with speeding up, that's totally fine. Kind of like what Kyle touched on. Kyle doesn't speed up a whole lot from that area. I personally don't speed up a whole lot from that area. Every now and then I may throw a little speed up in just to keep them honest. But know that the general common tendency overall was people tend to just create too much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think as you're adding this to your game, keep in mind those progressions. First step, you've got to be able to plug the hole, get the ball back, and not be making a lot of unforced errors. The best way to do that is just to simplify the location and go middle. As you get comfortable there, you can move it around a little bit more, and then as you get comfortable with the shot, you can add in some offense. But like Tyson mentioned, don't be so eager to add the offense and then skip the other steps.